Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We're so excited to have you here today. We're going to go ahead and get started. Really excited to be here to talk about our 10 essential Dreamforce 2015 tips for admins and developers. So developers that are on the webinar, you're in the right place, and admins on the webinar, you are also in the right place, and we're happy you found us. So who is us? My name is Leanne Templeman. I'm a developer evangelist at Salesforce, and I work a lot, especially last year, with our admin community, and I'm really excited to be working with our admins at Dreamforce this year. This is actually my 8th Dreamforce, and so I'm so excited to be a part of everything exciting that we have coming for admins at Dreamforce this year. And I'm joined by Mr. Pat Patterson.
Hi, I'm Pat Patterson. I'm a colleague of Leanne's on the developer evangelist team here at Salesforce. This will be my 6th Dreamforce this year, and I'm very firmly on the developer side. We've got this kind of yin and yang thing going. Leanne's clicks not code, and I'm semicolons and curly braces, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, so traditionally every Salesforce presentation has the safe harbor slide. This will prepare you for seeing it a dozen times at least during Dreamforce week. We don't think we'll make any forward-looking statements during this webinar. It's certainly not about product, but we have to show you this anyway.
And for nostalgia, and this is the first step in getting ready for Dreamforce.
It is. Get your safe harbor slide on.
So those of you who've joined our webinar, this social slide is different, so please take note. As we get ready for Dreamforce, here are some of the many important resources we'll be sharing to help you, follow the right social handles for Dreamforce. So there's a Facebook page just for Dreamforce, and I highly suggest you like it. They'll be posting cool pictures, cool updates throughout Dreamforce and before Dreamforce. Also, as always, please follow Salesforce devs and #ForceWebinar. And also Salesforce admins. Now you might notice there is no I, and Pat had a really good.
Oh yeah, it's like teamwork thing. There's no I in admin.
There's no I in admins. So it is Salesforce ADMNS. That's our Twitter handle, and #AwesomeAdmin. Also, there's a channel on YouTube for Dreamforce videos. So here's some great social resources to get linked up with about this webinar, after this webinar, and we'll be sharing more as well. Now, questions. If you're having trouble with the audio or if you're having trouble joining, definitely ask us a question on the GoToWebinar chat. All other questions that come up around Dreamforce, if you have your own tips to share as we're talking about Dreamforce, please go to the success community. If it's a question that you think would be beneficial for everyone, ask it to all Dreamforce. If it's admin or developer specific, we have special groups just for you, also in the success community, in the Dreamforce success community. So please ask questions there. We'll be visiting there and keeping tabs there as well. And share your own tips. We want to hear from you. So today we are doing a top 10 countdown of our favorite tips, or our best tips for Dreamforce, essentials for getting prepared. So we're going to start with number 10. Before Dreamforce, there's a few things that we want to check off the list. First, we did something exciting this year. We actually had a pre-Dreamforce product launch of Salesforce Lightning. That was last Tuesday. If you weren't able to join, if you haven't seen it yet, go to bit.ly struck by lightning, and you'll be able to see the recording there. And it's really exciting. A snapshot or a sneak peek into the product that we're launching and talking about at Dreamforce. So that's a great way to get prepared and to start, knowing what we're going to be talking about in our product keynotes at Dreamforce. Also, check your agenda. So click through your agenda on the Dreamforce site and see if you have any sessions favorited, or see what sessions you have favorited, what you're signed up for. Make sure that it still aligns with your goals at Dreamforce. And I highly recommend writing down or adding some of your agenda items to your calendar so you don't miss anything as you're kind of running around Dreamforce, and it can get a little bit hectic. Also, there's a wonderful broadcast called Road to Dreamforce, and if you go to bit.ly/df15 videos, which takes you to the Dreamforce site, it's Dreamforce videos, and there's a number of episodes. There's one specifically called Admin Success at Dreamforce. There's also one for developers at Dreamforce, and this entire hour-long webinars that are just focused on these specific areas of Dreamforce. So whether you're interested in getting involved in nonprofits at Dreamforce, or you want to really deep dive into being a developer at Dreamforce, the Dreamforce videos are a great place to get pumped and get psyched for Dreamforce. And most importantly, get ready for Dreamforce with your Trailhead Dreamforce badge. So if you go to, I know everyone on the call is already on Trailhead, I hope, and getting their badges. So we have a new badge for getting ready for Dreamforce. And so go and get your hashtag DIA15Ready badge, and that'll also take you through a bunch of great resources to help you maximize your time at Dreamforce.
All right then. And in at number 9 in our countdown this week is Hidden Gems. Now, these are sessions and events that they were maybe late breaking, maybe you haven't noticed them, and if you've got a bit of time, these are going to be a lot of fun. So the first one I'm going to call out is a panel discussion on virtual reality in Salesforce. Now, I've had a bit of fun in the past with Minecraft and Salesforce, hooking them together, and you know, there is some interesting work that's been done in visualizing data in 3D and having these immersive environments where you can literally look at your data from all sides. So that's going on Thursday at 4:30 in the Mobile Theatre in the Developer Zone. An interesting session I found when I was leafing through them is Mobile Push delivers an equality-minded business directory. And this session really has everything. It's a project to build a non-profit directory of businesses supporting equality, I think in Indiana, but it encompasses the marketing cloud, non-profit, and the Internet of Things. So there's a lot going on in that one, and it sounds like it's going to be fun. We've got a set of workshops called Write, Speak, Code, and these are really career development workshops. You can go to these and improve your writing skills and so on. So you might not have noticed those in the usual run of breakout sessions. And finally, I'll be managing the IoT zone this year in the Developer Zone. Reed Karlberg, my partner from last year, turned to the dark side of product management. So Josh, Birk, and I are running Internet of Things, and we have a whole slew of hands-on workshops, literally hundreds of seats scheduled for getting hands-on with our partners. Leanne, you have some hidden gems as well.
Yeah, so we have some fun stuff to join for everyone at Dreamforce. So if you've heard of lemonadestand.org, if you've seen them on Shark Tank or read about them, we will actually have a number of kids doing a supercharged lemonade stand. So these kids have been working on building their lemonade stand app, and so they're going to be doing a supercharged lemonade stand in the Dream Park, which I can't tell you too much about it yet, but you will definitely know what it is when you get to Dreamforce. It'll be in the Dream Park on Thursday from 1 to 3, so I highly suggest checking that out for delicious lemonade and also to see what these kids have been working so hard on. We're also going to be having some students, high school students, interviewing Dreamforce attendees about their career path, their progression, their background in the Dev Zone and the Admin podcast booth in the Admin Zone. So if you are interested in watching or in being interviewed, if you'd like to talk about your career path, show up on Wednesday from 4 to 6. We also have, if you go to bit.ly/admingems, Mike Gerholt put together a slide share with a number of great security-focused admin sessions that are some more admin hidden gems that are great sessions to join.
Awesome. And because Leanne and I don't like working too hard, we actually outsource some of the webinar development to our colleagues. So Samantha Reddy came back with some great top tips on maximizing your Dreamforce experience. The first one is bring a water bottle. There's plenty of water on supply, but cups tend to become a commodity. And you know, environment. Don't use the cups up if you don't have to. A great tip for avoiding lines. So we all know the Starbucks on 4th Street, just down the road from Moscone West. The lines there get super long. Pick up coffee in your hotel or near your hotel. You'll have a much shorter wait, and you can just carry it on down the street. Final tip, show up to keynotes early. It's easy when you see a keynote starting at 10:30 to think, oh yeah, I'll get there at 10:20. You can find yourself blocked out. Really, I would suggest, 30 minutes for the big keynotes at least. Take your laptop, take your phone, sit in the keynote room, catch up a little bit, rest your feet. But if you want a decent seat, you're going to have to build some lead time in. Okay, number 8 in the top 10 countdown. Talking of keynotes, why don't we tell people about them?
You know, it doesn't have to be, if you're a developer, you have to go, or you should only go to the developer keynote. An admin keynote is just for admins. And I think there's really meaningful information and speakers at both, and really cool demos at both keynotes. So if possible, go to both. But I highly suggest going to bit.ly/df keynotes, and you can see all of the keynotes that will be at Dreamforce this year and start to pick, you know, which ones make the most sense for you for your sessions. Now, if you can't schedule-wise make it to both, the keynotes are going to be streaming. The keynotes are going to be recorded. So you can definitely, we'll talk more about how to, you know, join remotely, especially for those of us who are going to be joining Dreamforce remotely. Keep track of that bit.ly/df keynotes, and you'll be able to stream the keynotes, and you'll be able to watch the recordings later. So you can definitely do all of it at Dreamforce.
You can do it all. Okay, and talking of doing it all, at number 7, it is possible to bend the rules of time and space at Dreamforce. You can get to everything, and you don't even need to be Doctor Who to do so. One really useful tip is go into the Dreamforce area of success, find the sessions that you'd love to get to, but you can't actually make it, and follow them. Speakers will post slides and recordings to those session feeds, so you can catch up after the event and actually attend more sessions than you have time to do. As we talked about, you can stream the keynotes. There's another link there, salesforce.com/live. You can even go there and get the Dreamforce 14 keynotes if you want a little preview of what to expect. And Leanne, this Periscope thing, you admins are really on this, aren't you?
We have, even no matter where you are at Dreamforce with Salesforce admins, because Jillian Medill, our favorite on-screen personality for admins, is going to be periscoping throughout the entire week of Dreamforce at Salesforce admins. Again, there is no I, Salesforce ADMS. So we'll be periscoping there, and we're actually going to have a number of podcasts that will be recorded at Dreamforce and will be released later on the third-party podcast sites. And there's going to be a lot of different ways. You know, basically, if you're not joining us physically in San Francisco for Dreamforce, you can still join us through a lot of different digital mediums. So we'll talk more about how to follow sessions and make sure you get all the information for the sessions that you wanted to join or couldn't get into because they were full, or couldn't get into because you weren't in San Francisco. You can still participate in all these sessions. You can still get all the great news and goodies from Dreamforce.
All right. And some more excellent tips from Mary Scotton, another developer evangelist. Now, Mary does a lot of work with the nonprofit community and with diversity as well. And a couple of tips for learning about pro bono volunteering. So this is using your time to volunteer with our nonprofit customers. There's a session on Tuesday at 5:15 in the Inspiration Theatre that'll tell you all about that. And then there's actually a mixer later on, I think immediately after that session in the same location, 6 o'clock in the Inspiration Theatre, there'll be a welcome meetup. And then moving on around the developer zone at that same time, Tuesday at 6, this is the time of the welcome reception. There's a whole bunch of affinity group meetups all around the developer zone. So Women in Tech goes on in the Developer Theatre, Blacks in Tech in the Internet of Things Zone, Latinos in the Innovation Theatre, and LGBTQ in the Mini Hacks area. So whatever your particular affinity group, you'll go and mix and yeah, meet more people like you. Okay, number 6, Leanne.
Number 6, oh, we're getting to the top half almost of our tips. So we mentioned asking questions in Success Community. We mentioned following sessions. Success is not just for the week of Dreamforce. Success at Dreamforce is a huge place or a huge way to interact with the speakers, the other attendees, with PMs, you know, really with everything that's going on at Dreamforce. So there's a number of different, this is only 6 of the many groups that are available in Success that are Dreamforce specific. There's industry specific groups, there's business site specific groups, there's product specific groups. I highly suggest joining at least the All Dreamforce group. If it's your first year at Dreamforce, definitely new to Dreamforce has a lot of great first-timer tips. Giving back at Dreamforce, if you're interested in being involved in some of our nonprofit, Salesforce Foundation is a huge part of Dreamforce, and there's a lot of volunteer opportunities and ways to be involved the week of Dreamforce and after Dreamforce with various nonprofits. So I highly suggest getting involved in Success Community, logging in, and asking questions. Follow speakers that you're excited to see speak. Join those groups. Ask questions about what sessions people are excited to join, and follow the sessions. If your schedule doesn't allow you to go to 2 sessions because they're in opposite buildings and they're within 10 minutes of each other, follow the sessions, and then later you can see what do they do in that session. You can watch the recording, like we said. So it's a great place to kind of help supplement your Dreamforce experience, both planning and afterwards. Number 5.
Number 5, coming alive. Okay, so we're all about social engagement at Salesforce. We already had the slide with our Facebook group and the YouTube channel and so on. There's lots of ways to reach out and connect, especially during Dreamforce. Here's some more of the hashtags we're using. DF15, DevZone, you see those a lot used in conjunction with each other. The Awesome Admin hashtag. One really useful tip for Twitter to really maximize your use of it, if you follow interesting people, go and see if they have Twitter lists of people that they basically curate these lists, recommend more tweeters. So, great example, I have a list of Salesforce Dev Relations folks, and you can get to that via the bit.ly link there, SFDC Dev List. And so it's a great way of discovering new tweeters, diversifying your feed, maybe getting some new voices in your Twitter feed. And also, as we mentioned before, follow those Facebook groups. That's where we post the cool photos from Dreamforce. So you could expect some nice albums going up there during the week. This comes from James Ward. So this is actually a really, really good one. So I've been to conferences where, for one reason or another, I've hardly been in a breakout session, or the breakout session, is not what I really remember. It's bumping into somebody in the hallway and making that connection and having that conversation that unlocks some piece of knowledge. Don't be afraid to go and strike up conversations with strangers. Maybe you're in a session and you're coming out and you say, how did that work for you? Have you done triggers? And if you see people that you kind of recognize from Twitter, just walk up and strike up a conversation. All of us developer evangelists are very friendly. Even the product managers are friendly people. I know you can go up and ask Shauna for your to put your idea in the next release. I'm sure she'll be thrilled.
And tell her Pat said that.
Tell her Pat sent you. And if you're got breaks in your agenda sessions, you're looking for a full, definitely check out the workshops. We've mentioned this before. They're a great way to learn with an expert, hands-on, and get some practical experience. And then James, I swear I didn't pay him to say this, but this was his tip: was check out the IoT area for some mind-blowing demos. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun in IoT this year. If you saw my blog post from yesterday, we have over a dozen connected products we'll be displaying in the IoT zone, and a couple of surprises on top of those as well.
Awesome. And definitely the IoT area. Do not, if you don't generally venture into the dev zone, if you stay on the expo and stay in the product areas and stay in the admin zone, usually in past Dreamforces, I highly encourage you to venture into the dev zone, if only to go to the IoT area. I mean, you should definitely go to sessions. You definitely need to check out the dev zone, but even if you're not a developer. But the IoT area is one of the coolest things that we do at Dreamforce. It's so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Definitely have to check it out. So number 4, what to pack. So Dreamforce is really creeping up on us. So it's a couple weeks away. So it's probably time to start thinking about packing. And business cards, order them yesterday. I wish sometimes that we didn't still use business cards. It's not the most environmentally friendly thing, but we do. We're a world of business cards, and so I definitely suggest having them. It's a great way to, if you're having a quick conversation with someone, if your phone's out of batteries, which we'll talk about in a minute, if you don't have a way to exchange information, it's a great way to keep up with the people that you meet at Dreamforce and all those friends and colleagues that you're going to meet at Dreamforce. Comfortable shoes. So comfortable shoes are everyone will say this, a huge part of Dreamforce. And I actually recommend, if possible, bringing 2 pairs of shoes, because those tried and true sneakers or comfortable walking shoes that have never done you wrong, after wearing them for 14 or 15 hours, 1 or 2 days in a row, they might not be the most comfortable shoes anymore. So I actually recommend bringing 2 pairs of comfy shoes if you can fit them into your bag. And I'm a big fan of the gel insoles every year at Dreamforce.
And if you are, in fact, a superhero like Chris Duarte or Mike Gerholt, you might want to think about displaying that on your socks as they're doing their superhero socks. Are definitely encouraged.
Now it's not just Dreamforce shoes, it's Dreamforce socks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Packing light. So if you are flying in to join us at Dreamforce, there is a lot of giveaways and swag and shirts from Salesforce, from our sponsors, from our partners that are participating. So if anyone has followed David Liu from Google, he has shared pictures online of like the year he got, I think, 100 T-shirts at Dreamforce. So, yeah. So I definitely recommend packing light and leaving some room in your bag because if you want to get a lot of T-shirts at Dreamforce, you most likely can. And also bringing a battery pack. So there are places to plug in at Dreamforce and on the expo, on the various floors in Moscone West and in the Moscone Center. I'm a big fan. I actually carry an Anchor battery pack in my bag that does like 5 full iPhone charges, and it makes me very popular when everyone is running out of battery charge. Or a Mophie, one of those battery cases. But I definitely recommend bringing some sort of battery pack so that you don't have to worry about charging your phone, once you're done with all your sessions, and you can go out and continue the Dreamforce fun and still be able to exchange information and find out where you're going and use Google Maps so you know where you're going. But battery packs are great to bring.
I actually went to the Apple Store at the weekend and got a new Mophie to fit my huge iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah, the Mophies are good. I like the external plug-in because then I can use it to charge anything with a USB. Yeah. Number 3. So while you're here, so we've talked about what to do before you get here. We've talked about what to pack, who to follow on Twitter, what to do on Success Community. And so first things first, if you haven't been to Moscone before, or even if you have been to Moscone before, it's a pretty big area. And if you're not necessarily familiar with that part of San Francisco, and if you're not from here, I highly recommend picking up one of the maps right away, or even just taking like a screenshot of Google Maps on your phone of the area in case you don't have service later. And so you can refer to getting oriented with the various Moscone centers. Moscone West is, of course, where the most fun stuff is happening. That's what we've been talking about a lot. But getting oriented, there'll be maps at Dreamforce in your Dreamforce programs, and so just getting the lay of the land. Making friends. So we talked about like getting to the keynote early. It's a great time to catch up on work and catch up on emails, but it's also a great time to talk to the people next to you. As James Ward gave us that great tip of don't be afraid to talk to people. Dreamforce is a great place to understand, people who might have similar roles to you or similar educational priorities or career priorities. And I love asking people what they're excited to do that week at Dreamforce. That's one of my favorite questions. Like, what are you excited about today? What's your favorite session you've seen so far? Things like that. It's a really fun way to hear about stuff you might not know about yet.
And in the map, which one there is Moscone West? All those numbers.
Number 1?
Yeah. It's not a test.
I still get lost sometimes.
So yeah, Moscone West, 4th and Howard. It's right on the corner there. It's a big silver building. Number 1 with good reason on the map.
Yeah. And if you don't know, ask. So there'll be people at Dreamforce with Dreamforce shirts and staff shirts. There's also the Black Landlords or Salesforce employees. There'll be Salesforce evangelists like us walking around. There'll be people there. So if you don't know, ask. Don't be afraid to ask questions. about, what sessions do you recommend I go to, or what do you think I should do this afternoon? Is there a great talk going on? Some of the most meaningful stuff I've learned at every Dreamforce I've been to has just been from talking to other attendees or other employees at Dreamforce to hear what they've been working on and what they're excited about.
All right, and our final set of top tips before we get towards the end here from my colleague Josh Birk. So here's a really great practical tip. You'll sometimes be sitting in a breakout session and the speaker will mention some technique and you'll think, oh wow, that sounds interesting. I wish I could go just try that out. Well, create a developer edition org just for Dreamforce. Just go to developer.salesforce.com/sign up, create an org, and then you have it in your back pocket. And I mean, sure, you can use that developer org you've had hanging around for a couple of years, but what I tend to find is I'll have done some experimentation with triggers or validation rules, and the next time I create an account, it just fails for some unaccountable reason. So having a fresh one, really, really useful. We don't charge you. They're a very handy thing to have. Another great tip, we have the developer library where you can pick up hard copies of books. And it's tempting to just go and ask for one of everything, and you get laden down on your trip home, and you get home and you realize, well, there's maybe 3 or 4 of these that are really useful, and then the others, well, maybe I didn't need to pick those up. Go to the developer library online and check out the selection there, and you can get an idea of which you really want to bring home, really target your book acquisition. And then Trailhead is going to be a big thing in the developer zone this year. Trailhead early, Trailhead often. I think this is a Chicago thing. I'm not sure. But the more of the, if you're new to Salesforce, maybe this is your first Dreamforce, really the more of the basics you have down before the event, the more you'll be able to learn. So definitely do some of those admin beginner or developer beginner tracks, and you'll get much more out of the event.
Yeah, it's huge for the dev zone, for the admin zone, for lightning.
Yep.
So after you watch the bit.ly Struck by Lightning product launch, you can go start learning more about Lightning and start working on getting early access to Lightning, actually, if you do more of the Trailhead modules for Lightning. So definitely Trailhead, Trailhead, Trailhead. We can't say that enough. Go get your Dreamforce badge. Go check it out. Number 2, we're getting to our top tips. Find your zone. So we talked about getting oriented at Dreamforce. We have zones, all of our admins on the phone, all of our devs on the phone. We have zones just for you. So in Moscone West, that was number 1 on the map there. If you go up to level 2, right when you get to level 2, we've got our admin zone, and then you can enter into the dev zone, which is a huge, kind of the whole backside of Moscone West. And they're not limited to, we call it the admin zone, we call it the developer zone because the content and the speakers and the sessions that we have there are really targeted towards those learning tracks, but they're not exclusive. So there's some really interesting talks in the admin zone that those of you developers on the call may be really fun to join, or some really cool theater sessions. We've got panels about people transitioning to being developers in the admin zone. And in the developer zone, especially for those admins that are interested in learning to code or starting to code, or if you want to go to see some really, really fun demos in the IoT zone, go check out the developer zone. So don't be scared to go between the 2 zones. There's something for everyone, I would say, in both zones. A lot of fun stuff going on. In the admin zone, we're going to have a podcast studio, which I mentioned earlier, and that's where we're going to be recording all week podcasts with some of our admin evangelists and our third-party podcasters, which will be released after Dreamforce.
Oh, guest
podcasting. Yeah, cool. It'll be really fun, and then you can go watch that. And we're also going to have the admin theater, and of course in the picture here you can see our awesome developer theater as well. So a lot of fun stuff happening in both. So
okay, and number 1, the most important thing we can say about this Dreamforce, and in fact any Dreamforce, is have fun. And oh my gosh, Mike Gerholt looks like he's having fun there. So yeah, there's a lot of deeply technical information on offer at Dreamforce. there's a lot of tips on administering your org, growing your business, but at the same time, it's good to kick off your comfy shoes and have some fun. So what's this admin photo booth?
So admin photo booth, you can see one of the pictures of our admin teams on the right there, mostly looking like they're having fun. So admin photo booth will be in the admin zone, and it's open for everyone, so you don't have to be an admin to go into it. It's a great way to capture some memories with friends that you're making at Dreamforce, or capture some Dreamforce memories. And what's this trivia quiz in the mobile feature?
Yeah, so it's kind of become a developer zone tradition. We have the trivia quiz. It'll be fun questions about little nuggets of developer knowledge, and I'm actually presenting that Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the mobile theater. So after those meetups, during the welcome reception, come along and we'll have prizes, we'll have t-shirts and so on, and we'll have the usual squabbling over who raised their hand first to answer the question. We've got to figure out some way of running this quiz, but it's lots of fun. It's basically raise your hand and shout out the answer.
You could even Periscope it and see if people start shouting out.
We'll need to talk to Jillian about that.
Yeah, that's always fun. And so there's more. So that's Tuesday. On Thursday, after the admin keynote, which is 3:30 on Thursday, we're going to have Lightning Fest, which is going to be a fun party in the admin zone on Thursday from 4:30 to 6. And everyone's invited. Hopefully you went to the admin keynote first, but everyone's invited for Lightning Fest in the admin zone. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be having some fun, celebrating Lightning, celebrating being at Dreamforce. And then also throughout the week, I mentioned the podcast studio. So if you'd like to see some guest podcasting going on, that'll be happening throughout the week in the admin zone as well.
All right. And one of the feature attractions of the Internet of Things area is the foosball table. So two developers at Deloitte Digital over in Colorado, Jeff Kimball and Lonnie Comer, built this connected foosball table. So it's all hooked up with Arduino and Raspberry Pi and hooked up to a Salesforce org to record the score and keep track of players. And so they'll be running that throughout the week. So you can go, they've got NFC built in, so you can badge into the foosball table and have a game, and they're figuring out how to keep track of people's standing through the week. So you can kind of go away and come back and like challenge people. That's going to be lots and lots of fun. And then no Dreamforce would be complete without the gala concert and after parties. Loads and loads of fun. I think, is it Aptus who have a great page?
Yeah,
with,
so if you Google Dreamforce Parties Aptus, I didn't actually include the link here, but if you search Dreamforce Parties Aptus, every year the partner Aptus puts out a Dreamforce calendar. So, and there's a few resources for that, but if you're interested in checking out kind of the listing of all of the partner parties on a calendar, just Google Dreamforce 15 party calendar, and that'll come up. And so there's definitely a lot of parties, and it's another good reason to go talk to sponsors and stuff. I mean, you should always go talk to sponsors, but definitely they'll be probably telling you about the various parties or events that they have going on. And then, of course, the big event.
Yeah, we're welcoming back the Foo Fighters.
I love the Foo Fighters. I'm so excited about this.
It's awesome. I was not at Salesforce the last time they played, so this will be a great opportunity for me to see them. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I'm going to try and get away from the developer zone and go see the Foo Fighters.
They put on. Well, you can just bring all the developers with you.
I can. I can be like the Pied Piper of Dreamforce.
You can just bring all the developers with you. You guys can talk about Apex classes or whatever while you're at the concert, in between Gary Clark Jr. and the Foo Fighters playing. But that's going to be just a total blast. They were so much fun last time. They're really high energy. I'm so excited.
And the gala concert is on Thursday evening? Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
So Thank you so much for joining. Again, if you have questions, pending questions, if you have your own tips, many of you, this is not your first Dreamforce, so if you have your own tips, we would love to share them in the Dreamforce groups on success, because we love to hear from you, and so do your peers. But we also love to hear from you through feedback. So if you have any feedback for us in how this webinar, how you liked it, if you'd like to see more webinars like this, if you thought we could have done better, if you want to tell Pat and I your favorite parts about the webinar, let us know at bit.ly/df15tips, and we love to hear from you. And we're so excited to see everyone at Dreamforce, either in person or remotely.
Absolutely. It's the highlight of the year. All right. So with that, we'd like to thank you very much for tuning in. And again, please leave our feedback. It's the only way we improve, is being told where improvements could be made. And looking forward to seeing you in, oh my goodness, is it just 2 weeks?
It's so soon. I'm so excited. It's so soon.
I better go and get on with the preparation.
We got to go work on our prep.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, folks.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.